the Destination Thailand Visa, or the DTV. A lot of you have probably already heard about this. There's already been, I'm sure, dozens of videos made about it, but some new details are coming through from the Thailand Immigration Bureau, and the DTV actually did start accepting applications about a week ago on the 15th of July. So we're going to make this video telling you the latest news, what we know, what you should know, and also how you can apply as well. Now, there has been talk of Thailand introducing a digital nomad visa for quite a few years. Anyone who's ever worked remotely from Thailand does know that Thailand does have a very large remote working scene. Chiang Mai has been very popular for several years in attracting people to come out here, make some money, reduce your cost of living, and have a great lifestyle while you're at it. So there's always been big demand there, but in the past people have been working informally on tourist visas, on ed visas and things like this, doing what they had to do to stay in the country. Now there is a formal mechanism, a formal visa that allows people to legally live and work in Thailand for a limited period, a pretty generous period. But what this visa does, it puts everything in the clear, and it makes it a lot easier for people who do want to spend a good chunk of their time living and working out here in Thailand. Now, go back a couple of years, the LTR visa was initially touted to be a digital nomad visa. Very quickly, everyone found out that most digital nomads would not be eligible for that visa. It is a very good visa, but it has quite high eligibility criteria. And then nothing happened for a while. There were whispers that Thailand was working on a digital nomad visa. At the same time, we saw other countries start to introduce their own digital nomad visas that made it very easy for people to live and work out in these countries in Southeast Asia. So there was a lot of competition starting to heat up between various countries to attract digital nomads to their shores. So Thailand, I think, really had to do something, and they did do something. They've come to the party. They've got this new DTV, which is fantastic. So we're going to discuss the general overview of the visa, the eligibility criteria, how you might go about applying. If this visa is not for you, then what are your other options? We'll also provide a bit more commentary towards the end of our thoughts on this visa and some things that you may be thinking about, or how this visa can be good to fit into your work and lifestyle schedule. So my name is Aaron. I'm from Offshore in Asia. We help people to move, do business and invest out in Southeast Asia predominantly, but all of Asia. If you want to learn more about us, you can head over to offshoreinasia.com. Likewise, if you want full details on this video, we're going to put more detail up on our website, and we're going to update that because things can change here in Thailand quite quickly. So if changes come up, we'll make sure it's on our website. Also, we'll have full details there of how you can apply for this visa. So if you're interested in that, go to offshoreinasia.com, go to the articles section, and then go to the Thailand section, and you'll be able to find information about this visa, the Thailand DTV. So onto the overview and eligibility now. The visa is open to anyone 20 years and older. It's a 5-year multiple entry visa. So that is very attractive in itself, especially for, as we'll get onto, the financial requirements are quite low to give you 5 years. That hasn't really been done before for a visa of this criteria level. So the visa does give you, according to the latest guidance, 180 days per entry. So that's 6 months per entry, and you do have an option to extend for a further 180 days. I should add here that if you are looking at staying more than 180 days within a calendar year, you are going to trigger tax residency in Thailand. And a lot of you will know that new rules came in on the 1st of January this year that is going to start taxing foreign source income that is remitted into Thailand. So if this is going to affect you, I would say get some advice, do some research, and just have a clear understanding that if you are staying more than 180 days, there may be some tax implications there. Our initial understanding of this visa was that it was going to be 180 days per year, so a max of 6 months per year. The latest guidance is saying 180 days per entry. We'll have to await further guidance on this and see how things play out, but just keep in mind that it is a possibility that you may be limited to 180 days per year, not necessarily per entry. But that's still 6 months in a year, so that's not bad at all. So the DT visa is focused around what they're calling workation and Thai soft power related activities. So the workation, that's all the digital nomad stuff, remote working, if you run a business online, if you have an overseas employer, all this stuff is fine provided that you're not doing work or you're not working for a Thai business or a Thai company. All of your income, all of your clients have to be based outside of Thailand. The soft power activities, well, that's referring to other things. You don't have to be a digital nomad. You could be coming here to do Muay Thai training, Thai cookery. You could be coming here for a medical procedure. And again, we'll have full details on all these different options up on our website. It's very good that it's a family-friendly visa. So if you are married and you have a spouse, you can bring your spouse with you, and you can also bring dependent children who are under the age of 20. Now, what are the financial requirements? That's probably what everyone wants to know. Well, there is a 10,000 baht visa fee. That's around 275 US dollars. Again, on this, our initial understanding was that it was going to be 10,000 baht per entry. So essentially 10,000 baht a year. The latest guidance is saying 10,000 baht as a visa fee. It's not saying anything about per entry. They have said there will be another 10,000 baht for a visa extension if you want to extend the 180 days on top of your initial 180 days. So just be a little bit open to that as well. But even if you're spending 10,000 baht, $275 for 6 months stay in the country, and you have to pay that every time, if that is the case, that's still not a bad deal. I'd be happy with that. One very good thing about this visa is that there is no income requirement. This is often a sticking point that can make things very difficult, especially for the digital nomads who are just starting out, because not everyone, I mean, having money in the bank is one thing, but having a regular monthly income that you can prove is another thing. So no income requirement. A lot of digital nomads early on in their business careers are going to be happy with that. Of course, if you're working for an employer, that's not going to be so much of an issue. You do have to show proof of funds of 500,000 baht. That is around 14,000 US dollars. So again, that's a reasonable amount of money. It just proves to the Thai government that you will have, even if you're not making money, coming in every month, you will have sufficient funds to be able to support yourself while you're in the country, and you're not going to be a burden onto the country's systems if you run out of money. So that's really fair enough. I think most people will be pretty comfortable with that. You do have to provide some documentation as to the purpose of your visit. So this could be an employment contract, a portfolio demonstrating your work if you're a freelancer, an entrepreneur, an online business owner. If you're attending training at a Muay Thai camp, you'll need to show a document showing that you've booked your training there. If you're coming in to have a medical procedure done, then you'll need to show an appointment letter from the hospital or the clinic showing why you're coming here and that you are actually doing it. So from what we know so far, the visa does have quite a light eligibility hurdle, which is great. It's exactly what they need. It's exactly what everyone wants. As I was saying at the top of the video, there is big demand for digital nomads in the region. It's a massive market for countries that are willing to capitalize on this and get a big piece of the tourist dollar as far as digital nomads and remote workers go. It's very well priced. That is a big thing. That is one thing that some visas have been criticized for in the past. So this is going to be really good. It's going to be great for digital nomads. We think it's going to be very popular here. The fact that the visa provides a legal, clear way to live and work out of Thailand, to formalize the whole, what was in the past, very informal, but very tolerated as well, method of the way people worked and live out of Thailand, often off tourist visas or whatever visa they happen to be on. This is really good. It gives people certainty. They're no longer operating in the grey. Everyone knows where they stand. It's good for the country. It's good for the digital nomads. Everyone, I think, is going to be happy about this. With the tax changes that have come out on foreign sourced income, this visa can be a really good way to maximize your time in the country and not trigger tax residency. So you stay here for up to 179 days, so you don't go past that 180 mark. You leave to go to another country, there won't be tax obligations in Thailand. What a lot of people like myself who've been coming here for a long time but don't have a long-term visa, this is going to be really good. It's going to provide some certainty that you are going to be able to stay in the country for 6 months at a time. It will give you some confidence in signing up to long-term leases, or at least 6-month long leases, and knowing that you don't have to do border runs and then maybe not get let back into the country and then have a condo with all your stuff in it that you can't get back into to vacate the condo. This is going to take care of a lot of those problems that digital nomads have faced in the past. If you know you've got your 6 months in the country every year, that's a really nice thing to plan your life around. One thing that did come to mind here is that this seems a little bit like potentially the elite visa holders could be getting the raw end of the deal once again. A lot of elite visa holders were understandably not too happy when the foreign source income changes came in. the taxation policies around that. This visa could annoy them even more. If someone has gone out and spent upwards of 25 grand on an elite privilege card, and then we have this new DTV visa come out that lets you spend at least 6 months in the country, you can extend that once at least, that you might even be able to spend close to the full year on an ongoing basis, depending on how they enforce the multiple entry, how strict they are with that. But either way, if you have gone out and spent 25 grand on an elite visa to get you 5 years access into the country, and then this new visa comes along that you can spend 275 bucks for, understandably there's going to be a few of those people who will not be too impressed with that. So we'll have to see what happens there. I wouldn't be surprised if they do step this back a bit to make it 180 days per year rather than per entry. And of course you have that one-time extension of 180 days just to differentiate it a little bit more between this and the elite visa. So all in all, it looks pretty good. We think this visa is going to put Thailand back at the forefront of the digital nomad scene in Asia as far as attracting digital nomads and remote workers to its shores to legally live and work in the country and have really good certainty around how to plan your lifestyle. But there are other options out there, so if this visa is not for you, what are your other main options? So some of these include the Malaysian Durantau Nomad Pass, which is quite popular. That's a 2-year visa. You have to prove earnings of 24 grand per year to be eligible for that one. Indonesia has the E33G visa that allows you to live in the country and work for 1 year. For that, you have to prove income of 60,000 US dollars. Japan has their digital nomad visa. That one only gives you 6 months though. To be eligible for that, you have to have around 66,000 US dollars of income. And South Korea has the workation visa. This is a 2-year visa, and to be eligible for that, you have to prove earnings of around 63,000 US dollars. So you'd have to say the main rival to Thailand's offering here is the Malaysian Durantau Nomad Pass. The fact that Thailand's digital nomad visa does not have an income requirement, I would say would make it #1 as far as digital nomad visas go in the region, but it is still very new. We will have to see how it plays out. But we'll wrap it up there, guys. If you want to learn more, head over to offshoreinasia.com. You can send us an email. You can book in a consult call with us if you want to discuss your taxation matters, if you want to discuss visa options, if you want to discuss incorporation and how to do business out of Asia. We also have a lot of articles over there, so you can browse through there and find out bits of information on various topics throughout the region. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you later.